that so our companies think everything is being placed inside the ULD and it is being pushed by a machine inside the aircraft. Okay, usually
Ma'am,
done by
ULD
the
full form?
unit load device.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, so that is being done by the usually being used by the cargo department. Okay, because cargos will be having a huge load of device, huge load of cargos. So that is where they load the cargo. Jarvis. Okay, that's it. Any doubts in airport handling?
No, ma'am.
Okay, then we will move on to the next one.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Tell me.
Ma'am, in that baggage handling, you told about the baggage if they have some metal or something, they detect with the mark, right? That
They, no. The mark would be given by the customs. Customs are doing a marking, whereas if it that is happening only in BBA where the arrival bags is coming up. Okay,
only
once
at the
they
baggage breakup area.
yes, the
Oh,
marking is done by the customs if they feel that there is some stuff which is there inside your bag which needs to be collected for the taxes.
okay, ma'am.
Only they will do a marking. Apart, if at all in a BBA, in a BMA, the passenger, if there is something inside your baggage, let's say a metal or any such kind of thing is there in your baggage, they will remove your baggage and keep it down. They will not send it to the aircraft. They will place it down. They will bring the passenger from gate and they will make the passenger to open their baggage, pick up that particular thing, throw the thing, and then only the baggage is being released. So that is BMA. So in BBA, marking is being done only to make note that this is the bag in which there was something in that which the tax needs to be collected for the country.
Okay. Like I had a doubt, like last month I visited to Dubai and while returning, ma'am, I just saw the same situation. Like people were having marks on, like chalk piece marks, like into marks in other bags, like two to three
Ah,
bags, right, ma'am?
yes,
And
yes,
yeah,
yes.
and I saw, I was wondered, like those chalk piece marks were only at the time of arrival. While the
Hmm.
departure time, they just checked in at that time, and at that time they didn't ask that passengers. And while the arrival time, while they came to pick the bag, at that time they were having chalk piece marks of into wrong
Hmm.
one. And at the exit time, there will be a staff who will be asking them to open the bag. Yes,
Hmm.
right.
So it is actually not the staff. It is actually not the staff. It's the customs who has been waiting there. Okay, with a white uniform. You've seen customs, right?
Yes, yes,
So
ma'am.
yes, they would be waiting there. Now you told you might be having a doubt. I don't know you have a doubt, but I have a doubt that from the departure area, why didn't they do that? So when they came
Yes,
into
ma'am.
India, why they did that? Correct?
Yes, ma'am. That
Now,
is right.
talking about Dubai, Dubai is having a different policies, okay, different places for taxes. Now, a 43 inches TV might not have a tax levied in Dubai. They don't want the tax for that.
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Okay, they don't care for that. But in India, the policies are different. So in India, you are carrying a 43 inches TV, you need to be paying the tax. In India, if you're carrying a 5 liters of liquor bottle, you need to be paying the tax. So there are certain set of goods, okay, certain set of items which need to be paying the taxes, which the passenger needs to be paying the taxes in India. So the policies of the country differs. Okay, let it be Dubai, let it be Abu Dhabi, let it be Riyadh, wherever you come from, there are different policies for different things. Okay, now, sometimes if you say jewelry is not a problem in Dubai, okay, even if you wear not too much, but even if you're wearing and coming from Dubai, they don't ask you. But in India, they will ask you.
Yes, ma'am. Exactly.
Okay. Why? From where did you get? Show me the receipt for all of this. Show
Yes,
me the
ma'am. They
tariff.
asked to show the receipt from where you got the
Correct.
billing.
Correct. So that is where the policies and regulations of a country comes into action. Okay, new policies and impositions will be happening. So in India and other countries has been different. So that comes entirely when you learn about customs. Okay, so I hope in the upcoming things you would be learning that. Okay, now that is airport handling. No doubts, right? Anything else?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am. No doubts.
Okay. Then quickly moving on to um, uh, okay, quickly moving on to the airport terminal building. Okay, you have airport terminal management in the next topic. So I'm moving on to that. Visible.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, airport terminal building. Now, what is airport terminal building? So we have completed airport or handling. Okay, we have airport terminal building. Then we will go to airport layout. Okay, what is your airport layout and how this comes. Okay, what and all are the components and all those things. So we will see what is the introduction to the terminal building. Then we will see what is terminal building. Then we will see passenger facility, then baggage handling, and etc. So I said you everything is interconnected in this chapter. So don't go by the units you have in the chapter. So I have mixed up everything. So in general, I'm talking about chapter 2. So I'm not taking any of the topics separately because everything is interrelated and interconnected. So it is all together I have taken. Okay. Now, this is the world's 10 airports. Okay. World's 10 airports. Okay. So I've just taken that. Now, this is the 4 components of the airport. Okay, 4 components. One is the airspace, airfield, landside, airport ground access plan. So these are the 4 kind of things. Now, airspace is where the aircraft is maneuvering. Okay, where it is flying. Okay, takeoff, landing, all those things happens. Airfield is where aerodrome, the aircraft is taking off and landing. Okay, so your runway, once it's touched down in the runway, it is totally aerodrome. Okay. So your navigational aids, your installations, all comes under the aerodrome. If you talk about the land side is the ground-based procedures. Okay, where your bus, okay, your vehicles is being passed, where your cargo movements happens, all that is land side. Now, airport ground access plans is where totally it is out. That is, once you're exited out of the airport, you're moved out of the airport. Any other buildings when you reach after the airport will come for the ground access plans. So apart, it's near to the city. Okay, near to the city. When you left the airport and you have exited the airport, okay, by your car, you have entered the city. That is called as airport ground access. Now, so this is how the diagram looks. So it's a structure. Okay. Now, ground airport equipment. This is the equipments which will be used in the airport. Okay. A tow bar. Tow bar is used for a luggage. Okay. Tow tractor is also used for luggage. Air start unit is actually used for your aircraft, where your aircraft has been started by the air start unit, and jet refueler, where it is used for refueling. Now, tow tractor is something where your push tractor is something where if you have seen, once the aircraft has been boarded, the aircraft can't take a reverse gear because it is not having a reverse gear. Your aircraft needs to be pushed back. It is also called as pushback vehicle, where from the front side, your aircraft is being pushed behind. Okay, from the parking bay, it has been pushed back for movement frontwards, right? For the taking off, it needs to be moved front. So in that case, from the parking lot, it can't take a reverse gear because aircraft is the only vehicle which is not having the reverse gear. So this push bar or the tow bar is being used by for the aircraft to push back the aircraft, and from there it starts its maneuvering. Okay, so that is the thing. Now aircraft ground equipment, tow tractor, I already told you, pushes an aircraft. Okay, then tow bar is where is connected to the aircraft's front landing gear to push that aircraft behind. Then you have air start unit, which is used for the aircraft's jet engines to start the engines. Okay, this vehicle is being used where it produces some sort of gas turbines onto the engine, and it needs to be started. Jet fueler is where the fuel pumps is there for underground tanks. Okay, for the aircraft to do the air fueling. Now this is the terminal building, okay, where terminal building consists of three parts, which is land side, the terminal building, and the air side. So land side is where your parking lots and all those things comes, okay. Terminal building is where from the time you enter into the aircraft, okay, where from the time where the CISF checks your identity and makes you enter into the aircraft, that from that area it is terminal building, and from the area where you board the aircraft is the air side. Okay, now concourse is that it is an open area. Concourse is that once you enter into the departure area, you have, for the check-in counters, you have a long kind of hall. Okay, that area is called a concourse. Now, what is the functions? I already told you what and all other functions is: customs clearance, immigrations, transportation change, your ticketing process takes place, your shopping is there, you have your facilities like your washrooms, restrooms, meetings, business building areas, then you have your baby shower rooms. So all this is the functional area of the terminal building. Now, this is how the terminal building design looks like. Okay, so this is the various kind of terminal design. So I will not explain you that. I will show you a video which explains this, because me explaining it would be a little difficult. Okay, this is the various kind of terminal building structure. Okay, now this comes under the layout also. Okay, this is also a layout. If you see, a simple terminal is where you are entering into the terminal, you are boarding into the aircraft. So this is the simple format. Okay, everything happens in the terminal building and you're normally moving in. Now when it comes to a linear one is where you are entering into one terminal and you have a set of 4 to 5 aircrafts waiting for you, and you can move into any of this. No, not any of this. For your boarding pass, whatever you're there, you need to go to, if you need to go to your destination. But with one terminal only, it is connected to 3-4 aircrafts. Okay. Now, curvilinear is where your terminal looks curved shape. Okay, and the aircraft has been connected. Now, then comes your pier finger terminals. Okay, pier finger terminals, which states that both the side, like you're entering the terminal, and from the terminal you have another area to be passed on, and where 4 to 5 is being actually parallelly connected. So one aero bridge is being connected for 3 aircrafts. So that is the pier finger terminal. When you come by a satellite terminal, it is like it's a straight aero bridge plus a round shape would be there connected to 2 or 3 aircrafts. A remote satellite terminal is where you have 3 more pier fingers. Okay, but only in one pier finger only there would be a connection of 3-4 aircrafts. Okay, now transporter is something where you will have to, transporter is totally based on your coach. I told you bus, right? You're coming to the gate, boarding a bus, and then the bus is taking you to the aircraft. So this is the set of airport layouts also. This is how the design comes for the various levels. See, now for your explanation also, this is there underneath. You could see, I have the explanation here. So if you're not able to understand, you can read it once. Okay. This is the type of terminals. Center terminal, see, central terminal, fire finger. If you could see in this, Kansai Airport is the example of it. I will show you the video so you will understand that. See, just one single this one, and everywhere it's been connected. You enter here, it's everything connected here. Okay, this is the runway. Okay, so it is, what is the advantages is that it is a centralized facility. Everything is centralized. Okay, no confusions in this. But what is the disadvantage is that there is a lot of congestion. That is, since one or two aircraft is going from the same terminal, every passenger comes to the same terminal, so there is a congestion happening. Lots of passengers waiting in the queue, so that there is a mess there. So that is the main congestion. And long walking is there between the gates, so you need to be walking long to the gates from the counters. You need to be walking, since it's a huge, one single line in the airport. You need to be walking all the way from checking counters. Let's say 26 gate you have, till the end of the airport you need to be walking. So it's a long distance one. Now, central terminal with satellite. Satellite is where, if you could see here, it is being spreaded with 4 fingers. Okay, so this is where the I believe Kuala Lumpur airport is like that. Okay, so in the middle, it what is the thing is, it is a high offer high aircraft capacity. That is, more number of aircraft can be parked. Okay, and a simplicity design. It is a normal design, but long distance walking is there from check-in counters. Now, if at all this is the terminal building, you are checking from the terminal building, you need to be walking all the way down to the end. So there would be a lot of confusions also, because you never know which route to be going. Okay, a first-time traveler would get confused. And then they do not have high speed escalators. Okay, they just have normal steps and things like that. So that needs to be connected, that needs to be corrected in this particular satellite one. If you check on the transporter one, this is where passengers, I told you, this is a normal airport, Tampa airport. Okay, this is a normal small airport. Okay, which is actually happens where the passenger is collected from the building and taken via buses to the aircrafts. Okay, so that is the transporter terminal. But there is one advantages for transporter terminal is that a lot of time consuming. Okay, so you need to be deboarding that passenger near to the aircraft, and by then again you need to come back and collect the passenger from the gate. So it is a lot of time consuming one. If you talk about semicircular terminal, semicircular terminal, it's already given here. Incheon Airport, see, semicircular, short distance and low cost construction. So this is having an advantage, which is very short distance, and a low cost construction will be taken for that. Then, what passengers expect from the terminal? So always a passenger would be having a view of an airport, right? So what is the passenger most probably expect is that they want a short walking distance. They don't want to walk all the way from here till there. Okay, short walking distance. Convenience and comfort. They need to be seated. The way they look at, sit. Oh, this chair is actually not good. They shouldn't say that. Then clear signage. Your signage should be denoting clearly. Now, if you're saying that, so please follow the signage, and your signage is actually confusing. It is showing toilet also that side, gates also that side. Obviously, there would be a confusion. So in the same way, there shouldn't be any sort of doubts happening, or if at all a passenger is coming and asking, like if it is the signage has been showed clearly that okay, both is on the same way, then say that it is after the toilet, sir, or it's opposite to the toilet, sir. So you can say like that. So that's the way that comes under communication. That's the way you help the passengers. Okay, that's the way you do the service. Now, what passenger expect from the terminal is that good airport shopping and eating facilities, right? If they have a 3 hours late flight, they need to be, taking a good rest. Till that time, they should have some sort of eating facilities. So they look on to some good commercial centers, right? So you should have a good commercial center and short queues. They don't like to wait all the way in a huge three set of lines. If possible, we need to be trying to reduce it to the short queues. Now, easy access from the road, of course. Now, if you talk about BIL, I've seen many passengers coming and telling me that, oh my God, it is too far from the city. But we can't do anything because as and when I told in the last chapter, your aircraft rules as a set of rules where it needs to be stating that no obstruction should be coming for any aircraft flying from different destinations. Okay, so if you put it inside the city, you have huge building which needs to be demolished. That is not possible from us. So that's the reason VL is being placed outside the city. Okay. So usually what passenger expect, everything can be given from us, but still what they need from us is this much easy access. Okay, then they should have an efficient baggage delivery. They shouldn't wait for more than an hour for the baggage. That was actually usually happening with Indigo, because Indigo was having a back-to-back landing flight and the staff was not able to handle it. Okay, so for a domestic baggage, it should be 7 to 10 minutes. Within to 7 to 10 minutes of aircraft landing, the baggage should be on belt. Okay. Now, if it's for an international carrier, okay, it should be between 10 to 17 minutes. Within this 10 to 17 minutes, the bag should be on belt. So this is the calculation usually an airport will take up. Okay. So an efficient baggage delivery should be there. A proper range of services, proper communication, proper information should be passed on to the passenger. Now, if there is a delay, say that there is a delay. Okay, you're not supposed to hide it from the passenger. So if there is a technical error, say that it's a technical error. So since they are paying for you, you need to be respecting for that. So that is the reason a full range of service they expect from you. Convenient parking. Okay, they should have an availability for their whoever is bringing them to park their vehicle. It is not that randomly they are parking in front of the terminal and moving on. That unnecessarily creates a congestion. Clean building of cars. Of course, this is fast more important, because a water spillage on the ground will not be seen. A passenger might trip and fall. So always it is a responsibility of every staff to look around and see whether the building is clean. Okay, so clean building is expected. Simple procedures. They don't want any complicated procedures to happen. Your boarding pass should be printed coolly, calmly to them. Okay, no complicated. Oh, sir, I don't know that. Just give me a minute. Don't make the passenger to wait. Okay, he doesn't like that. Safe and secure environment. So he always feel that he's standing in a safe and secure environment, but we as staff are never supposed to feel that, because we will be responsible to take care of them. Okay, any mishaps coming up, let's say any bomb threat or any such kind of things comes up, we as a staff needs to take care of the passenger. So for us, the passenger comes first. Okay, so he should always feel that he's standing in a safe and secure environment. This is the flow chart for embarking. Embarking is where your boarding of the aircraft happens. Disembarking means it is the deboarding of the aircraft. Okay, that means arrival. Okay, so this is all aviation terms. Embarking means boarding, disembarking means arrival. Okay, so ground transportation, you have a ticket, then you have to check in your baggage, then immigration control, security check, gate hold. So this is the procedures. They are shown it via flow chart. Now, parking facilities, public parking facilities is where for airline passengers in the terminal building. That is, if at all one person is traveling, you can see their entire family comes to leave them. So they should have a proper public parking facilities for them. Off airport parking is where it is for the passengers who are far away from the terminal building. Okay, they are with lower charges. Okay. Like if you say, for example, they are not the staff, but they have come for some other reason to meet someone or things like that. But lower fare should be collected from them. Separate parking is parking for the airline or airport staff. Okay, the employees of the airport. There should be a separate parking for them. Car rental parking is where your taxis and your limousines have been should be parked. Everything can't be mixed up, so that is the thing. Now, of course, baggage handling comes here also. Moving passengers' baggage, check-in and departure, one gate to another, arrival gate to baggage claim area. So, arrival, this is the arrival belt, okay? They have shown in the diagram as arrival belt. This is how arrival belt looks like. Okay. Now, what is the goals of this particular system is that it is faster and it is safe too, because there is only one staff who would be handling this. Now, three methods of moving baggage. Now, this also comes under your baggage handling. First one, tug and cart, which means your labor intensive and manual method. Telecars, multiple baggage pieces in one cart, not automatically stored. So telecars is where too many bags have been placed into the vehicle. Tug and cart is labor intensive. There is a manual method, okay, where you need to lift your bag, place inside the vehicle, and all those things. When it comes to telecars, more number of bags can be put up. And it is not automatically sorted out. Everything needs to be scanned, screened, and all those things. Okay, so it is usually used in an automated system. Now, DCV is destination coded vehicles, where on your trolleys you would be pasted. Like now, if you're flying from Bangalore to Mumbai, it would be pasted on that vehicle that it is. Let's say G8181 Bangalore to Mumbai. So it would be clear for the staff to place the baggage that yes, this is that particular bag which needs to be going to Mumbai destination on this particular flight. So this is how the calculation happens. And some automated systems are there where the bag, gets screened itself and moves inside the vehicle. So it is totally automatic one. Okay. Now, this I already told you how your baggage handling will happen. From your check-in counters, it goes to the automated barcode scanner. That is, your bag is being screened by the person. That is, your X-rays happens. Then the conveyor belt, it moves onto the conveyor belt. From the conveyor belt, if it is a manual one, then the staff would be scanning and putting into that. If it is an automated one, then the machine will be screening it and putting into the trolley. So that is the procedure. ATC. Now, first and foremost, what is the purpose of the ATC is that it is safety, efficiency, okay, safe and proper traveling of an aircraft should be happening. Now, what does ATC clearly provide is first and foremost is safe operating conditions. No two aircraft should be clashing. No aircraft should be coming, no aircraft should be landing and touching, landing and take off together. So it is not possible. So safe operating conditions needs to be done for an aircraft and for the passenger also by the ATC. Okay, control of the airport operating services within 5 to 10 kilometers of the radius. So it is not only inside the airport; they have in the airspace also. They need to be controlling the aircraft. It is not just that they are checking up on the aircrafts itself. They are supposed to deal with the airport staffs also. Okay, now let's say I told you meteorological staffs. Okay, who will be informing about your what you say about your weather conditions. Okay, if there is a snow on the runway, ATC should immediately inform the team stating that please clear off that runway. Okay, do a de-icing where there is a next aircraft landing and there might be a possibility of not safe landing. So immediately it needs to be coordinating with the airport operations staff also. Then emergency crashes, of course, it deals with emergency things like your aircraft crash, your bomb threat, your hijacking. It also deals with all those things. Even your medical condition. There's a passenger who has got heart attack on board. Even this will also be dealt by ATC, where ATC immediately informs the ambulance, airport operations teams to all accumulate there. So everything goes via ATC. Okay. Now, difference between VFR and IFR, this is generally not important now, but I will tell you what VFR is. VFR is visual flight rules, okay, where it states the pilot can see, okay, pilot can see how much distance he needs to be maintaining between two aircrafts, okay. He can see it. Now, when it comes to IFR, IFR is majorly used when there is a lot of snow, okay, and the snow has been covered in front of it. They start using the machine or instrument which is there in their air inside the cockpit, which states that this should be the distance from, there is another aircraft standing in front of you, use this much of distance. So this is where a general used of IFR comes up. Okay, so now every aircraft is actually picked up with IFR. Rarely they use the VFR until and unless the weather climate condition is clear, okay, and the pilot is able to see, from the cockpit, then they use the VFR. This is the basic ATC's organization, okay. So en route control, approach control, aerodrome control. En route control is where the flight is about to land, okay. So while you're flying, while you're on air, you keep on giving the information to the ATC, so that is en route control. Approach control is where the flight is about to land, once it's about to arrival or about departure on any such things. Once it's about to touch down, okay, on the runway, they give this approach control is the part of ATC which takes care of landing, okay. Aerodrome control is once it is landed, it is coming into the parking bay, okay. It takes up the taxiway and it's coming to the parking bay. So that time, from approach control, the information is moved on to the aerodrome control, and aerodrome control will be taking care of the rest. And this is how ATC looks. This is the ATC towers. So these are the flight service stations which is there in airport. Okay, your weather observations. Weather observations is done by meteorological department, which I already told you. Pilot weather briefings. So pilot weather briefings is where the pilot is being given information based on the weathers. Okay, now if you're moved in the flight, they say that the weather is clear, or let's say there's a turbulence happening, so please wear your seat belts. All these kinds of things has been given by the pilot, right? So pilot weather briefings has been there. Filing IFR or VFR flight plan. So the pilot needs to be putting up whether it is an IFR or a VFR flight. Then distributing NOTAMs. NOTAM is a notice to airmen. Okay, if there is any such kind of dangerous good which need to be taken care by the pilot, then the NOTAM would be issued by the ATC stating that there is so and so dangerous good, you need to be taking care of it. So that is the one. Broadcasting weather information, that is done by meteorological department again. Spread ATC clearances. So ATC is done giving the clearance, right? Okay, 6182 is ready to take off. All these things, kind of things, is being given clearance by the ATC. Emergency assistance. So if there is an emergency on board, then that should also be done by the ATC. Now radar. Radar is where even if the aircraft, simple words I will tell you, even if the aircraft is on en route, that is if it is flying or any such kind of thing, or on flying, about to land, take off, any such situations, everything is tracked by the ATC controller on his system. So how is that tracking being done? Is via radar. So everything, visual view can be there. Okay, so if you've seen people saying that we lost control over the radar, or we missed the aircraft in the radar, that means the visual view of the aircraft was affected. They were not able to see that particular aircraft. Okay, so till the aircraft departs from its destination, till its land, this aircraft needs to be in the radar. Okay, so until and unless it is landing in an airport, this this aircraft should be there on the radar services. So that is radar, where they are constantly analyzing or constantly checking on their altitude, your weather, everything on system. Now, additional services, I already told you. Pre-flight. Pre-flight is where the pilot receives an information stating that before his flight, there would be so and so things he needs to be doing. Okay, he needs to be doing a checklist. He needs to be knowing which type of flight it is. He needs to be knowing what aircraft type it is, whether it is a neo aircraft, whether it is a 380 aircraft, whether it is a 777 aircraft. All these kinds of things he needs to be doing. Where the departure should happen, where the arrival should happen. He should also know which route he would be taking up, what altitude he needs to be flying. Everything is super calculated and given to him prior his flight. Okay, it is not just his own idea he is flying with. No, everything is given by the ATC to him. Okay, so that is pre-flight. Second one, takeoff. So once he has received all the permission from the local control centers, he is taking off. He is powering up his gears, he's powering up his engines, and is ready to take off. Number three is departure, of course. He is super
What is
speeding.
VFR?
VFR is visual flight rules. VFR is visual flight rules, where a set of rules are given by the ATCs, which needs to be followed by the that is what I said. How much altitude he needs to be collecting, how much there's how much kind of speed he needs to be collecting in this particular area, or when he's passing the borders, what he needs to be checking up on that. So all these kinds of things will be given by ATC. So it's given before pre-flight one.
Ma'am, all this communication take place in Morse code, na? Like radar codes.
Exactly. That's what I said. Radar codes is too much. Now, if you think about the pilot's code, I told you, I had given you an assignment, right?
Yes,
Yeah,
ma'am.
Alpha.
Pilot codes.
Yeah. So now, usually, how the conversation takes place is, I'll try to show you a video. Okay, tomorrow or something, I'll try to pick up a video and show to that how the conversation between an ATC and an pilot takes place. It's a complicated. You will never understand that because they are very quick in it. Okay, because they don't have time. They'll have to handle other aircrafts also. So in a minute, one ATC staff would be handling around 60 to 70 aircrafts. So it is really hard for him and really complicated process for him. So, that's the reason they don't have time to talk on words. So they only speak up with the numbers. Okay, they only speak up with the codes. They say Bravo, let's say Alpha 3210 takeoff. This all. This is what they are. Sometimes the ATC will reply yes, or they don't reply no. If it is not ready to take off, they say no. Sometimes you never understand because their voice are so sweet. Also, it is little complicated to understand. So everything goes via code. So radar codes are mainly on numbers. Okay, majorly on numbers. So the phonetics for you guys, it is important to know about phonetics. Okay, so Alpha, Bravo, Charlie, that is very important for you guys because you will also be using once you're boarding into an aircraft. Okay, you're making the passengers to be boarded, then you will be using that. Okay, or if you're tall, you are a cabin crew also, you should be using these particular words. You're not supposed to say ABCD. No. Okay, not allowed. Okay, en route is where the aircraft is flying. Okay, on air. Descent is where it is going to land. Approach is where it is approaching to the runway. Okay, so I've just explained it. It's all the same, like how they land and all those things. If you want to read that, you can read that. Landing is where it has already been touched on.
Ma'am, what is track on?
What is?
Track on. Last track on.
Working on a track on. Track on is that everything is having track record. Okay, you have everything on the ATC's system. So that's what I told you. From the time the aircraft has been taken off from one destination till it lands in one destination, everything has been recorded. Now, for example, I will tell you, you've seen that one of the aircraft was missing and they say that the black box was not found. You know that?
No, ma'am. Sorry.
You don't know which aircraft it was? There was a missing of an aircraft, and they say that even the black box was not found.
When did it happen, ma'am? Recently?
Happened like 2 3 years before.
Sorry,
There was a
ma'am.
missing of an AirAsia flight, which was flown from Malaysia, stating that it might have fallen inside the sea.
Malaysia MH370 somewhat right now.
Exactly. So
It's still
Malaysian
missing
aircraft
some areas.
still missing. They have not found it
They
on
haven't even
where.
tracked it. No tracking information still.
Correct. So if you have seen the ATC speaking about that, they say that in a particular area, from a particular space, the aircraft went missing on their radar. That means they were not able to spot the aircraft on their system. Okay, so that is the reason they were searching for their black boxes. But even because black boxes is those kind of blocks which is being fitted inside the aircraft, which records the conversation between the pilot and the ATC. Okay, but it was not able to be found because even black box was missing. If the black box was found, they would understand what was the problem regarding that aircraft, but even that was not found. So a track-on is those kind of things which will actually be recording. So from the very moment they should be getting the aircraft on the radar or on their system. If they are not getting it, it is a serious issue. Okay, because the entire passengers are there on board, your crew are there, it will be a problem. Okay, now clear. Now en
Yes,
route
ma'am.
oceanic, if you see it, en route oceanic means it is flying on above ocean. Okay, en route domestic is where it is flying on the land only. Okay, from domestic to domestic. Then terminal, then approach, surface. Terminal it where it is taking off, approach is where it's about to land, surface is where it's already landed and coming into the bay. So that is simple and given. Any doubts in this?